Okay, next step, yes, to the question of offsetting, and so we do have the planes, we have a basic volume. So how do we do a polyline on top of this? Well, we need to know the setbacks. So I have right here the setbacks. This 15 feet, you know, up, where you go? For after the maximum base for a narrow street is 15 feet, okay, back. Now, I happen to know where is the narrow street. I think this is Tillery. No, this is J, and this is this small street. Nobody knows its name because it's such a small thing. So that's actually a narrow street. No, what is the name? Yeah, exactly. So the setback after this height is going in this direction. So how can we do an offset? Well, we definitely need to do a polyline. So it will be a matter of selecting this plane. We need to go and do a line, and things that we could do. We could draw it and then do an offset, or we can just place an offset directly here of 15 feet. This offset is a feature that allows you to draw with an offset to one of its sides. So you say, well, this is not working, it's going in the other side. I don't know if you see it. Spacebar goes to the other side, no? You snap. Now I'm not going to go with this offset because obviously there's only a setback here. So I'm going to escape that. And I'm just going to do another line from here in the top. And closing a polyline, Revit recognizes it's kind of a periphery, and then you say create form, and you have it. No, so you can go down, snap to the next level. Okay, that's one way. Another way we will see later on, especially in furniture and stuff, is that you can actually align. Align is a very good tool that you can use. It's AL, and I don't even know where it is because I never use it here. LA, and you can select. I believe it's first what you want to align, and then second to what. No, sorry, the opposite. No, first to what you want to align, and then second what element you want to align to. Alignment is very useful, especially for furniture, because you start moving things. Sometimes a wall could be offset slightly from another one. You align it in a very fast mode. Normally, you would select here after aligning the lock, but I don't want to align there, so I'm going to do align, which is AL. Select first the plane, then this one, and then lock it, which again is the same as moving the gizmo and then lock it. No? Okay, we need a 10 feet setback of the from Tillery and J, so it's the same thing. No, we're gonna select this plane, create that, place a 10 feet offset, and then snap spacebar because it goes in the opposite direction. And in this case, we do need offset in both of them. So I continue, and then I escape, change it to 0, and continue my PDF. Sorry, my mass. Okay, once it's closed, escape a couple times. It didn't work, so we do it again. 0. I wasn't creating. Oh, there is, no? Oh, for some reason it's not. I had to select control and select both polylines, but it works, so it's okay. Align to this plane and select that one, we lock it, okay? So there we have it. System. Now, I would recommend that before bringing it into your project, which is as simple as load into project, that you try for next class to do the sky exposure plane. Let's see who can do that. It is not that difficult. It's not that easy, but it's if once you figure out, you're going to be able to do it with no problem. Another thing you can do when you have several volumes, if I tap, you have one volume here, another one there, is actually join them. If you want to, you can select one and another one, and they actually eliminate that part, and then you can select one and another one and eliminates that element. Okay, so looks smooth and clean. How do we take it into the project? Well, first thing I will do is save and load into the project. This famous button that allows you to place it in whatever project is open. If you don't have any project open, it will tell you no way. If you have two projects open, it will ask you to which one you want to take it. No, so I'm going to say do not show me this, close. Here's the thing, it tries to place it here, I could snap in there because I know 0, 0 is there, but I don't have my origin point here. So I'm going to escape. I'm going to go to the side view to see my origin plane. I'm going to place it as north. And in order to place again, it's just pressing the component element to bring back the last incorporated family. So now you have the origin and you can snap it there. You will try to incorporate several of them, so just escape after the first. Another thing it could be that you place once and you don't see it. Why? If I go to 3D, you might not see anything for a very simple reason. If you go to mask and inside, you might have this button press. This is a shortcut to the visibility and graphics, which is almost like the layers thing, but there's no layers. This is a shortcut because if you press, it turns off all the conceptual masses. And you can turn it on and off. Why is that? Because imagine we start creating our project from this. You know, we create walls here, floors, etc. Well, the conceptual mask is going to be bothering our eyes very soon. So you're going to be able to turn it off and on and, you know, be able to see both simultaneously whenever you want, or just clean the screen and only see architectural or project components, etc., etc. Okay, so we have it there. How do we get an AXO? As simple as pressing our friend here. This is one option. This is another option. Another option. And again, I'm asking you two. So will this option be good? I think so. I think it explains pretty well what's going on there. Now, here's another thing. You see 3D views here? I recommend, by the way, that you should start with very simple system of levels. Don't go crazy. If you start with the architectural one, you may have like already you know, like base of footing and stuff. I would recommend cleaning it up and constructing those levels as we go, unless you know already where things are going and you can mitigate later on. So this is a 3D view that when you're in any view in the plan, if you go to the 3D, you press the doghouse here, you will go to that 3D, which it has like this, you know, like parenthesis thing. We actually want to save a particular axle, so we can place it in our second sheet in the zoning regulation sheet. So we can right-click here and duplicate, and right-click, rename, and call it, you know, zoning sheet, zoning axle 1, no, for example. And you should duplicate that 2 times, 100 times, as many axes you need. Now, here's the problem. Revit still doesn't know very well what's going on. If we go to annotate, we can use many of the tools for annotation. We cannot use lines, which could have been important. But imagine you have the sky exposure plane. You will use the text with a guideline, no? So you can press, here's the thing, you press shift for the ortho and you click, this is the exposure plane 1.2, etc. No? You click out, you see how small it is and cute? Well, again, that's the scale. So just change the scale to whatever fits better in your sheet, no? I'm going to create a new sheet and see what could that be. New sheet. I'm going to say load. By the way, if you want to start, you probably have your title block, so you search for that one. I'm going to select the 2234 that Autodesk is giving us. Okay, and you drag the zoning axle 1. It's probably huge because I don't even see it. Okay. So let me double click there to enter. I'm going to change this to a different scale, even smaller, even smaller, even smaller. Let's try that. Right click, deactivate, move the window, move this monster, this select, place it somewhere, and we're starting there, no? We're okay, we're in a good track. Let's go back. What other things can we add? We have a line. A line we cannot place, unfortunately, vertical dimensions as far as I know. I'm researching on that. But you can select a plane and another plane and place these dimensions with no problem. Okay. You can also, if you want these two, you can also place this two and place it here, which is, you know, It's not that bad. So you can have dimensions. For vertical dimensions, which are obviously necessary, you can use the spot elevation, which gives you the height of any elevated point within the project. So you can zoom in. What I do is click 2 times, because if you don't click 2 times, it's this type of symbol, which is okay if you want. I like to click 2 times. You will see why. Temp annotation, spot, 1, 2, and then it comes horizontally, no? And then you do it again here. 1, oops, 1, 2. 125, 150, 210. You can add more tags. You can say no leader and place underneath according to Pepito Grillo. This is coming from this regulation, and remember that this is a must. You can copy these guys, Control C, Control V, and place it, or CV, by the way, sorry, copy CO, sorry, to place it for each of the dimensions and annotations. You should place from what regulation code is coming. Okay, so we have vertical dimensions, we have horizontal dimensions. If you want to add a text, you can also place a bigger text by changing the type. If you don't have more types here, you can always edit the type and duplicate it. Remember, duplicate the type and change here the text height. But I would recommend placing the typical one. Let's say J Street here. Okay, didn't work. And if you want to make it look cool, you can rotate it so it's actually the size of the street, and you can double click on it and change it, incorporating the narrow street, wide street, etc. Okay. Okay, try to make this rotation nice. Trees. Well, we're missing something, because if I actually want to do the section, I could always go to the floor plan and draw under view, section, and create a couple of sections, or one, depending on how many you want to do. If I double click on the section triangle, again, I can go very fast to the section. So we get the section also quite automatically. All the sections come with what is called the region, the crop region. So if you want to move these guys to change the levels, I particularly think that for the massing, for these particular sections, that you should rename as zoning section 1. You probably don't want to have the levels, because the levels is about a project that doesn't exist yet. So you can select one level and hide category. So it's very clean. It's not bothering you, if etc. etc. Okay, what is missing here? Without asking much. Dimensions, very easy. Annotate. In this case, they're much easier. You just go vertically, start putting dimensions. You probably want to have it at the same scale of the axle if you can. You can also create any lines. I'm missing something important here, though. Who can tell me? Huh? Yeah, once we do the 3D, it will appear there as well. Anything? We're hidden lines. Well, we can do a hatch there, but that's not that important. We could something important could be, where does the building stand? Is it on top of something, or is flying? Okay. So I'm gonna do that in the next little video. So I introduce terrain again.